This will be in the bloopers.
You're very mean. Oh my gosh. I don't even remember how I was going to start the video. Alright. Calm down. Okay. So, today I'm going to show you guys what I eat in a day as I'm preparing for my competition, which is probably about a year away. I'm also vegan, so that's another reason why I decided to show you guys what I eat. I've had a couple people ask me what kind of diet plan I was on, and I'm not on a diet, as we know diets. So, why am I vegan? If you want to know why I'm vegan, I have a website. It's called WFPB Mom. It'll be in the description. A link to it will be in the description below, so you can check that out. So I'm going to go through these really quick. So this isn't a long video. Some things I'll stop and explain to you along the way, but I'm going to try and make it as quick as possible. So point one is going to be protein. Protein is really hard to find, or it's really hard to get enough protein in your diet when you're vegan. So the best way for me to get protein is to use meat substitutes. So here's a couple. I'm going to show you my favorite ones, and those I'll give you descriptions on. So this is Beyond Meat, the Beyond Chicken Strips grilled, and it has, as you can see, it has 20 grams of protein, which is really good. So it's 20 grams of protein for 6 strips, which is really good for me because I have to eat 138 grams of protein a day, and it's really hard for me to meet that goal. And it only has 5 grams of carbs and like 3.5 grams of fat, so that's a really good one. My other favorite are these Boca Original Vegan Burgers. They are 13 grams of protein per burger, and they only have 6 grams of carbs and 0.5 gram of fat. These I eat a lot, but my favorite food used to be cheeseburgers, so this is like my go-to, sometimes even when I want a snack. This is something new that I haven't tried. I think it's called Gardein Beefless Ground. I tried another brand that was a ground, like a ground beef substitute. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to say the brand, but it was not very good. It was not this brand. I haven't tried this brand yet, so I'll let you guys know what I think of that. The next thing is tempeh. Tempeh has 16 grams of protein in it for 3 ounces. And this package has about 9 ounces in it, so about a third of it, which isn't really bad at all. It's really easy to cook with. You just marinate it and it pretty much tastes like whatever. You make it taste like bacon real easy if you use this amino acids and a little bit of maple syrup, and you marinate it and slice it really thin. It's really good. So that's kind of like my protein sources. So next is going to be veggies. So a big bag of kale. You probably don't like kale. Most people don't. It takes a while to figure out how to eat this in a way that tastes good. So what I do, tried it raw, didn't like it. Ugh. I tried just like throwing it in, like maybe I made like a, pasta instead of broccoli. I put kale in it. I didn't like it that way either. But if I marinate it, or if I saute it with this liquid aminos, it's really good. About 6 minutes. If you go longer than that, it's going to be super chewy. If you go shorter than that, it's going to still be chewy because it's kind of raw. So just kind of play around with this. I've also heard that it's easier to eat it, or it's easier to digest it if you eat it cooked. Haven't really looked into that yet, but that's just what I heard. Also, red grapes. As you can see, there's not very many left in this bag. This was our second bag. Grapes are really good to eat after workout or after dinner, because anytime you eat or work out or anything like that, your body releases free radicals, and red grapes have been scientifically proven to help combat those free radicals. So after dinner or after workout, just grab a handful. Baby spring mix, and with the spring mix I use salsa. As you can see, there's not much left in this one. This was my second container. It's just really hard to find a dressing that doesn't have milk or eggs or oil, cheese. I don't use a lot of oil, so go into that later. Asparagus, to me, this is my favorite vegetable. I can just cut this up and put it in a pan with some salt and eat it just like it is. I don't even need to put anything on it. Zucchini, really good thing to put in place of like lasagna pasta. You can just slice it like you do like the strips of lasagna and use that in place of pasta. Onions, good for sauteing and adding flavor to anything. Then we have these two peppers, our first two peppers of the season. I think this one's a banana pepper and this one is a chili pepper. Or a salsa pepper, I think is what it's called. Salsa pepper, just like red and green peppers. These are really good for adding flavor to your dishes as well. Then, so that's like the veggies. So now I'm going to tell you about like the carbs or the things that you put together with your meals. So of course, one of the best things to eat is like brown rice instead of white rice. It's a lot healthier for you. This is Indian basmati, I think is how you say it. This takes a while to cook, so if you don't have time to do that, then I use this boil in a bag brown rice, which is a good substitute for this if you're in a hurry. Right now in this house, it's baseball season, so I don't have time for this, but I have time for this. So that's a good substitute. Also, this is quinoa that you can get in bulk. I shop at like Kroger a lot, so that's where I got this quinoa at. It's not too expensive. You can also get it in box if you can't buy it in bulk. I just like to do it like that. I don't know, it like makes me feel special. So then oats. Now these are oat flakes, and I try to stay away from oat flakes and eat whole grain oats or like whole oats, but these are still good for you. And I believe I wrote an article about the oats on my website. Maybe it was about the bread, but you can go to my website, WFPB Mom, and check that out. And then these are hash browns. I was eating like baked potatoes with sauerkraut on them. That probably sounds gross, but it's really good. Kind of got burnt out on that, so I'm switching over to hash browns. And if you are like trying to keep track of your carbs and how many carbs you're eating, and you're running like you don't have many carbs left that you can eat in a day, and so you're like, wow, I only have like 10 grams of carbs left, or I have 20 grams of carbs left, and my bread is like all of that. In place of rice, you can use this, it's like cauliflower rice, and this one is lemon and garlic. This one is savory herbs, but this has 6 grams of carbs for 1 cup. So this rice has 33 grams of carbs for 1 cup. So if you're running like out of options as far as what you can put on your plate, because maybe you're at the end of like how many carbs you're going to eat for the day, this is a really good substitute. And this is really good. We went to a birthday party where somebody made some of this. I could have eaten the whole pot of it by myself. Thought that might be rude, so I didn't do it. Fruit, frozen blueberries and fresh blueberries. The reason I have both is because I like the way the frozen blueberries taste in a smoothie or a shake better than the fresh blueberries, but that's just me. You might like the fresh blueberries better than the frozen blueberries. Plus, sometimes I can't eat this whole container before it goes bad. So, anyway, so these are really good for, like I said, smoothies or shakes. And of course, we know with smoothies or shakes, you usually put milk in it. And I don't drink dairy milk. So this right now is one of my favorites. It's the Silk unsweetened vanilla. To me, it's still pretty sweet, so getting the unsweetened doesn't bother you. And it has 2.5 grams of fat for 1 cup, no cholesterol, 1 gram of carb, 1 gram of protein. So this is still good to drink even if you're running low on how many carbs you have left for the day. Also, this is really good to put inside your shake or your smoothie. It's flaxseed. Flaxseed does a lot of things for your health. It's really good for you. It has 2,400 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids in it. Excuse me. It's just got a lot of good nutritional benefits to it. And you don't have to put much in there. I think this says 2 tablespoons. So just throw it in a smoothie. You won't even taste it. It's ground up like powder. You won't taste it at all. And if I need protein, since like I said, I have a hard time getting my protein, I've been putting this in my drinks, and it is, I'm assuming it's Live Fit, but it's not Live Fit, the apparel brand. It's a different company. And theirs is completely vegan. Like this has pea protein, quinoa protein, and agave. That's all it has in it. And you get 15 grams of protein for 2 scoops. There's another brand out there that I'm going to try eventually. When I do, I'll let you guys know. So, Cholula for seasoning. 2 different kinds of balsamic vinegar that I use, try to use for salads and different things. I still like to use the salsa more. Organic garlic powder. I use a lot of garlic. I have fresh garlic over there as well. Almond butter. It's better for you than peanut butter. And this one has, like, it has no oil in it, just dry roasted almonds. So that's really good because, like I said, I try to stay away from oil until it comes to this. This vegan butter is so good. It tastes like the butter that your grandma had at her house that was, you know, the stick butter. But it's mostly oil. Coconut oil, safflower oil, sunflower oil, cashews, soy lecithin, sea salt, and cultures. But to me, I feel like that's a better alternative for my family than to use regular butter because it's a dairy product or an animal product. And then some of the very last things, I have my bread. Bread takes up a lot of carbs, and you have to be careful about the bread you buy because white bread is not very good for you. It breaks down into pure sugar in your system. Actually, I wrote a whole entire article on bread. And the different kinds of bread, and it's on wfpbmom.com. But this is my favorite right now, and it's Dave's Killer Bread. He has about 4 or 5 different kinds. Last week, I think I got the 21 seed. This one is good seed. It has 25 grams of carbs and 5 grams of protein per slice, no cholesterol, 3 grams of fat, no high fructose corn syrup, anything like that. He also has these bagels, which I just found today, and I'm super excited because they have 11 grams of protein in a bagel, and it has 48 grams of carbs, and it has no cholesterol and only 2.5 grams of fat. So I get a sweet tooth just like everybody else, and sometimes I need a cheat. And right now, because I'm cutting, which means I'm trying to lose weight. I'm cutting and bulking, trying to at the same time. So I picked up these rice cakes, which has, it says 100% whole grains, which whole grains are really good for your body. Kind of keeps things, you know, flowing. Nice. And it has 1 gram of protein, 12 grams of carbs, and 1 gram of fat. So it helps with, if you're counting like your carbs, if you're doing like, if you're counting your macros, which is your carbs and your protein and your fat, then this is a really good one because it's not very high in anything. So other than that, I think I covered everything. So that is what I have for this week. Each week is different. I try to change it up. But one is I definitely don't use any oil, and I have an article on that on my website, as well as an article on different types of bread. And if you have any questions about anything that I listed or that I didn't list, feel free to leave a comment below. Oh, wait, one more thing. This. I don't know if you can see it when you shake it up. That is I used this old bottle. It says minced onion, but I didn't have anything to put it in. But what this is it's my salt without salt. So I try not to eat a lot of salt, as well as I don't cook with oil. This, I think, has like 13 different like seasonings, like herbs, dried herbs and stuff in it that I use to put on it when I cook or maybe afterwards. If you're interested in this, the recipe for this is listed on my website, which is, again, WFPB Mom. I suggest you give it a try. You can add things to it, take things out, whatever you want, but it's just kind of, you know, it's the one that we like. So feel free to check that out. And I think that is all I have for you guys today. So there will be a couple of links in the description below. There will be a link to my website. There will also be a link to a couple of movie trailers that might help explain like another reason why I switched from eating the way I used to now eating vegan instead of consuming animal products. So the link to those two things, it'll be What the Health movie trailer and Plant Pure Nation movie trailer. Those will be down in the link below. And one last thing, I want to give a shout out to Plant Pure Nation. They came out with their own line of food, which is called Plant Pure. You can only find it at Publix, but this is going to be great for you. This has got, let me see, it has 13 grams of protein, 56 grams of carbs, like 7 grams of fat, but that's the good fats, no cholesterol. And on the back, they have like an explanation as of why they're doing what they're doing. They also did that movie, Plant Pure Nation. I was super excited, so I just went and bought this today. I haven't tried it yet, but I will definitely let you guys know. So if you're looking for something quick and easy that you can just pop in the microwave that's not very processed, I would suggest going with these guys because their ingredient list is like there's nothing that you can't pronounce in here. So give that a try. Again, if you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.